Hey, everybody. Look, there's people here already, Thomas. Hi, guys, and welcome. Welcome to Healthy Living Live. I'm Chef AJ, and today I have the great pleasure to talking to my new friend, Thomas, the owner of California Balsamic. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you very much. Thrilled to be here, Chef.
Absolutely. So, guys, I promote lots of different products. I don't have exclusive arrangements with others, so that just because I promote one doesn't mean I don't love another. I promote lots of different vinegars, lots of different salt-free seasonings. With pressure cookers, I do only promote the Instant Pot because that's the only one that I've used and liked. But just so you know, because I'm talking to one person doesn't mean I dislike another person. I just want to give you guys options for SOS-free healthy living. And I came across, well, you can see that I've already, there's nothing in this bottle, because what happened is I was given a sample of this teriyaki balsamic vinegar, which I used on one of my YouTubes to make a pineapple unfried rice, and I loved it. It was delicious. And so I met Thomas. He was a vendor at something called the Harvest Festival. And if you live in the Los Angeles area, there's going to be another one November 1st in Pomona, I believe, actually.
December 1st.
Oh, December 1st. Yeah. And you can try all his flavors. And I have tried all his flavors, and they're all delicious. But I like the savory ones best because that's what the missing was for me, things that I put in my grain dishes and my Buddha bowls. And so I'm going to just show you my 5 favorite flavors. And you can see that I really do use these. I love the Gilroy Garlic. I love the Raspberry Flame. I keep moving over there. I love, love, love the Sweet Heat. And my new favorite on sweet potatoes is the Blazin Habanero. But what I love the most about these vinegars is the bottle, because I fly every week and you can get this 3-ounce bottle through TSA. And he also has a 1.6-ounce bottle that's perfect for when I go to restaurants. And Thomas, when you place an order, if you put in the contact form, Chef AJ, he will give you 2 samples, not the 3-ounce, but those little bottles. But believe me, that's great so that you can try new flavors. And we're gonna announce another very special offer in a minute. But first, I wanted him to talk a little bit about the vinegars, because so many people worry that there's sugar in it. Now, you have one flavor, as many companies do, where you actually are putting in some maple syrup. So that one's not SOS free. But there is no sugar in vinegar, right? The sweetness is from the grapes.
Correct. So it's real simple. In Modena, Italy, even though the name of our business is California Balsamic, which is a little misleading, we import all of our balsamic from Modena, Italy. When you place an order. And with that, we import the balsamic vinegar and then flavor it with whatever we want. Fresh garlic, fresh ginger, fresh peppers. But the balsamic vinegar itself is simply grape juice. Now, when you make the balsamic vinegar in Modena, Italy, you take the grapes, generally the Trebbiano dark red grapes and the Spergola light green grapes. Now, those grapes are crushed, and the juice goes into huge kettles, and they're boiled way down. 50% of the water is boiled off from the grape juice. Put into the barrels. Add a little bit of mother to the barrels, because the mother is kind of like an enzyme which eats up all the alcohol that would normally be made, just like you're making wine. And then when all the alcohol is been eaten, then of course you take the mother out, put it into another barrel, and the process keeps on going, kind of like sourdough bread. Keep doing the starter, going from batch to batch to batch. Balsamic vinegar is kind of the same way. When the balsamic has aged for several years, generally 4, 5, 6 years, you can stop the process at that point. And to thicken up the balsamic considerably, you take the same grape juice that the original product was from, and you boil it way down, 50, 60, 70% reduction. And that's called grape must. And the grape must is simply grape juice boiled way down and thickened, added to the balsamic vinegar, and you've got a much thicker, richer, and sweeter balsamic without adding any sugar.
Yum. Well, thank you. And I finally interviewed Dr. Goldhammer, who at first was sure that these things had sugar, and I showed him the labels, and he realized that some of them actually didn't, and that we could enjoy them. And the thing is you're all these reduced balsamics are so flavorful. You don't need that much. I don't think I ever use really more than 2 tablespoons on either a large salad or an entree because they're so delicious.
So what we often tell people is whenever they're making their vegetables, cook them up any way you want. I especially like putting vegetables on the grill and grilling the vegetables and then put them on your plate and then sprinkle a tablespoon or so right over your grilled vegetables for extra flavor, SOS free, absolutely delicious, especially pineapple. That's one of my favorites to have grilled, for vegetables and fresh fruit.
Absolutely. Misty says, did we post a list of the ones that are SOS free? All of his vinegars. Now he does sell oil, as do almost every vinegar company. All of his vinegars are SOS free.
That's on the Balsamic page.
On the Balsamic, right.
Balsamic.com. Everything on the Balsamic page is SOS free.
Except for the apple pie.
The apple pie has some maple syrup in it.
Now, do you know Leslie Haas? Because she says, oh my God, is that you, Thomas Allen?
Oh my gosh, Leslie Haas, that could be my cousin.
Is that really your cousin?
It can be, because I've got the Haas family as my mother's side.
You mean from Bluffton, South Carolina?
They were from Virginia originally, so maybe
Leslie,
not.
Leslie, how do you know Thomas? Because
funny.
That is really funny.
We have customers all over the country.
That is incredible. And Thomas will be at Get Healthy Sacramento on February 17th, 2019, where I'm privileged to be a speaker for Linda Middlesworth's fabulous conference with all kinds of speakers like Dr. Steve Lewenda, and you can taste all his flavors there. So
yes.
Absolutely. So the thing is don't forget that if you order, any order, by the way, to put Chef AJ in the contact box, and then he will send you.
Yeah. So let me explain exactly how the little bonus bottles. We'll put in 2 free, cute little sample bottles like this with every order. And here's how you do it. You simply place whatever order. You can get one single small $10 bottle. I don't care what it is, 1 bottle or 100 bottles. When you go to the checkout page where you put your name, address, telephone number, all the basic information, right next to your name is the leave us a message box. That's the most important box on our entire website for all the Chef AJ fans. In that leave us a message box, you simply type in Chef AJ and then tell us the name of the 2 flavors you'd like as freebies, because I'd much rather let you, the customer, choose the free bottles instead of us choosing for you. You tell us what you'd like as freebies.
Absolutely. So just to clarify, Leslie says she is your cousin, and Leslie runs co-runs with her 2 sisters, a very large plant-based group in Bluffton, South Carolina. So you guys are going to have to hook up. And Leslie, you got to get his vinegars, girl, because his are really delicious. And after all, he's family.
That's it. Oh, it feels like a gift box on its way to dear sweet Leslie Haas.
What are the chances? Wow, I love connecting people. Okay, so this is really weird, but somebody's posting as Chef AJ, and I haven't posted. So how the heck did that happen? Number 1, do we have ghosts in the computer?
It's a secret.
But number 2, also, if you're going to be at the holiday extravaganza at True North, I'm going to see if Thomas can stop by again, because he came the last time I was at True North, and he let the chefs. Yeah, he let the chefs taste his vinegar, and he gave a little lecture to us about how he made them and things like that. So what we want to do is we're going to announce, and I'm hoping to get this out to my mailing list soon, we're going to have a little contest, a recipe contest. And the best recipe, we don't know exactly, are we going to go to the end of the year?
We're going to do it through the rest of the year, and the grand prize is going to be 3 large bottles of whatever flavors you want. And then we'll send them and Chef AJ is going to be the judge. Because
I'm going to be the judge. So here's the thing. So it's a recipe contest. You have, I believe, till January 2nd. We're going to get more details on Thomas's Facebook page, which, by the way, if you want to be, you got it. What is your Facebook page so people can like it? Because that's where we're going to be having all the interaction for the contest.
Yeah, California Balsamic.
Yeah, and I put that right on the screen. So we're going to like the Facebook page, and we're going to give you details to the contest, but it's going to be a recipe contest. And of course, it has to use one of the vinegars. And to make it even sweeter, because we want to gather a bunch of recipes so that everybody can be enjoying healthy eating, is now you don't just get a free bottle of vinegar for placing an order, because that's not fair, because then everybody in the world would do that. But if you already place an order and submit a recipe, then Thomas will send you a larger bottle.
Yes, indeed. So we want to put a $10 bonus travel bottle in with everyone who submits a recipe, but you also place an order at the same time, because we're not just going to send out a little $10 bottle with just a recipe. When you place an order at CaliforniaBalsamic.com, and you're going to put in, of course, in the leave us a message box that you're a Chef AJ and that you've sent us a recipe, send it to us as an email at orders@CaliforniaBalsamic.com. And then you send us the recipe there. And then in the leave us a message box, you'll tell us that you've sent a recipe in and tell us what you'd like for your free $10 bonus bottle for your recipe and the 2 freebies on top of that. So you'll get $22 of freebies with an order and a recipe.
Yeah, just by sending in a recipe. And make sure, if you want to win, that they're vegan and SOS free. You're welcome to send in recipes, because Thomas is putting together a cookbook. But if they're not vegan and SOS free, I'm not going to be able to taste them and make them. So
we're going to put an SOS free recipe contest with the cookbook. Is what we want to do. An SOS free cookbook.
So Leslie says, are you still in Ukiah? This is amazing. This is like that show where, like Oprah, where they connected family.
Yes, indeed. I've been in Ukiah now 23 years, ever since I bought this company. It was called Trey Classic Specialty Foods back then. A woman named Carolyn Bacon, she developed dessert sauces, dressings, and marinades. And then when she got sick, she had to sell the business. And I happened to be visiting a college roommate in Walnut Creek, right outside of San Francisco. And I simply called up the company and said, where are you located? They said downtown Ukiah. So I drove out the next day and came out, checked it out, and bought the business and moved to Ukiah and did dressings, dessert sauces for a while, then got into balsamic vinegars and vinaigrettes and changed the name to California Balsamic about 7 years ago. And we've been rocking busy ever since.
Right. Jenny says, I missed you at the conference, Jenny. Jenny says, I freaking love Sweet Heat. Gail says she just ordered. She's excited. Laura says, Gilroy Garlic is the bomb. That's one of my favorites. And let's see. So Colleen has a question, which I think I can answer, but I'll have you answer it too. She said something about the spiciness. She said, can you describe what the Sweet Heat tastes like and how spicy it is? So I'm going to give my opinion and I'll ask Thomas to comment. So for me, especially if you can compare it, like if you compare like Gilroy Garlic and Teriyaki, they're not spicy at all. They're just flavorful. I would say Sweet Heat would be considered like medium, mild to medium. I don't think it's very spicy. It's a little spicy, but habanero is spicy. So
correct, Chef. We put in about 6 times more peppers and serranos and habaneros into the Blazin Habanero Balsamic. But Sweet Heat is made exactly the same way, just with dramatically fewer peppers. Now, I am an official spice wimp. I don't do hot things at all. And Sweet Heat is made for my taste, and I'm glad of it. So when I put the Sweet Heat on my vegetables, I find that there's virtually no heat at all after you've put it on the food. It's just for flavor. People who like good and hot, they often end up buying it because it tastes so darn good. But the Sweet Heat is for spice wimps. If you don't like spicy things, but you like the flavor of peppers, Sweet Heat's for you.
Great. And I sometimes mix the two to kind of like I split the difference. That's what I did for my lunch today. Today for lunch, I got to tell you, it's so delicious. I'll post the picture. So I got in really, really late after midnight last night from a flight home. And when I leave town, my husband doesn't ever buy food. And so all we had today, and I didn't have time to go to the store, we had a bag of broccoli, which I had for breakfast, not enough. It was 12 ounces. And we had one russet potato, a 10-ounce bag of mushrooms, and one onion. So I sauteed the onion and the mushroom, and I microwaved the potato, and then I put sweet heat and habanero on it. Oh my God, it was like one of the most delicious things I ever ate.
Good for you.
Yeah, CJ says she loves the Blazin Habanero. Don't need much, and it's delicious. I agree. So Misty says, can I post my favorite and what I use them on? So Misty, I can't type and do this broadcast, but my 5 favorites from Thomas's line are the Raspberry Flame, the Gilroy Garlic, the Teriyaki, the Sweet Heat, and the Blazin Habanero. And what I use them on are savory dishes, vegetables, and grain dishes. I don't use them as salad dressings. And Thomas knows this. I have another company that I promote and love, Be Mon Paz, and I use the grapefruit on my salad dressing. Thomas doesn't make a grapefruit. So there's room for all of us in this world, guys. And I just like what I like. Now, Raspberry Flame, how spicy is that compared to Sweet Heat? And
that's probably right in between the two. It's got significantly more habaneros in the Raspberry Flame, so it's a little too hot for spice wimps. But people who like flavor and enough heat to feel it, Raspberry Flame is wonderful.
Yeah, that's delicious with I love that. I have this roasted bell pepper thing that I do with rice, and that's what I use it on. Looks like you got a lot of friends and family online. Niso says, "Hi Thomas, this is Niso with Creative Play Center in Pleasant Hill. Thank you for your donation to our preschool winter fundraiser. I just want to share the sweetness and healthiness of California balsamic with other families. So thank you." You know, I recently interviewed a very well-known doctor named Dr. Caldwell B. Esselstyn, who was one of the stars of the movie Forks Over Knives and the author of Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease. And he loves these balsamic vinegars. And he tells his heart patients to eat greens 6 times a day and to anoint them with a few drops of balsamic vinegar. So, and I believe you actually did send a sample to his wife. So we'll have to follow up and how we like them. So yeah, CJ saying, Grace customer service. It's nice to call a company and get a real person. Thomas is a real person and a very nice person as well. I met him, and boy, your booth was busy, I'll tell you.
Well, we're going to do this weekend alone. I'm going to be in Fountain Hills, Arizona. I'll leave day after tomorrow. My wife, Ethel, she's going to be at a festival in San Mateo, the Harvest Festival. And Patrick will do a show up near Eureka, California, for a little event in Ferndale called the Fig Twig Marketplace. That's just this weekend alone, not including the Farmers Market in Windsor on Sunday.
Wow, so that's incredible.
So, we are jumping busy.
So cousin Leslie says she's going to send you a gift box of her latest fabric gift bags for your vinegar. She makes really cool things. If you're Leslie's cousin, then you're Karen and Mary Lou's cousin as well.
Yes, indeed. That's exactly right.
Those 3 ladies spoke at our conference. I know you're never available to come to our conference because you're always busy Labor Day weekend, but that's hopefully they'll come. Now, Barry, my friend, who I'm seeing this Saturday night to see a play, says in capitals, I love, love, love California balsamics. I never liked vinegar until I ordered Thomas's Teriyaki balsamic, Sweet Heat, Gilroy Garlic, Habanero balsamic, and others. These are my go-to salad dressings. Nothing else needed. Thank you, AJ, for introducing Nancy and I to this great company a few months ago. Absolutely. So delicious.
We've had so many customers order small bottles to start, and I highly recommend just order little travel bottles to start. Know what flavors you like. Keep these little travel bottles. Oh,
I keep refilling it. I keep
convenient.
And they don't break in the suitcase.
Exactly. And when the bottle is empty, order bigger bottles and continue to refill the travel bottles for months or years to come. I keep my 3 favorite flavors in my briefcase 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They never come out unless they need to be refilled because I'm in the hotel rooms a lot every weekend. I take my own food with me, and most hotel rooms, fortunately, have a microwave in it. I warm up my dinners, and I sprinkle a little bit of my balsamic right on my vegetable stir fries most every evening after the festival's over.
And I like because it's got a small hole because bigger bottles have such big holes, and this bottle has you don't have to squeeze out so much.
Comes out by the 1/4 teaspoon if you want. Yeah. You can drizzle the tiniest little bit over your vegetables, fresh fruit, and salads, exactly where you want, when you want it. So that's why they're so convenient.
So Cheryl asks if she buys vinegar at the Sacramento Harvest Festival, can she use the Chef AJ code to get a couple of little bottles?
Bingo. You just tell me that you're a Chef AJ follower. We like to call our Chef AJ followers Chefites. And tell me that you're a Chefite, and I'll happily give you the 2 sample bottles at a festival as well. And that's for whether it's me at the festival, my wife Ethel, or Patrick, or the farmer's market. You tell us you're a Chef AJ follower, and you'll get your 2 samples with every purchase.
Wow, this could be dangerous, because what if a lot of people see this broadcast? If you guys share this broadcast, more people will know about how to have some delicious sauces for their vegetables.
My wife just told me that someone asked about where we're going to be again this weekend. Now, if you simply go to californiabalsamic.com and click on the events page, we've listed all our events from this weekend till the end of the year on our festival events page, where we're going to be every weekend. And we have festivals every weekend for the rest of the year.
That's so cool. Now, can we tell them about the upcoming flavor that knocked my socks off, and if they'll be able to taste it at a festival, or is it too soon to let it?
We're now, because the chef has just extraordinarily opened our eyes at the world of SOS free that we were not aware of until just recently. We're going to come out with some brand new flavors next year. Now, they're not going to be available this year at all. We're too busy. They have to be analyzed, have got to test the pH levels. You've got to get labels and there. It's just too much to do. And we're not home enough November and December to do all this. We've already been test marketing an extraordinarily flavorful curry balsamic.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. See, I appreciate what you're doing, because I'm too lazy to make sauces.
Now, we've been sampling it the last month, and we've let probably 200 or 300 people sample it at the festivals to get their reactions. We always test market our flavors at festivals and say, hey, is this too strong? Is it too weak? Should it be more this, less that? So we ask our customers to tweak our recipes for us. And the curry balsamic has been given overwhelmingly positive remarks, just the way it is now. Some people are saying a little bit stronger. Only 2 people have said, oh, it's too strong now. And so we're not going to make it weaker by any means, but we're going to pretty much keep it the way we are now. If you're going to be at any of my festivals that I'll be at, I'll be letting people sample the curry balsamic at those events to give us their feedback, because we'll be introducing a dill and mustard seed balsamic. We've been experimenting with a tarragon balsamic, and we're just going to infuse the flavor right into the balsamic vinegar, let it sit for several weeks, and then pour it into bottles, and it's ready to go. We've made rosemary in the past. That's so easy to make. We just love making rosemary balsamic. We want to start growing our own rosemary right here at our warehouse in the spring.
So a lot of people worry that your company or other companies, because maybe some companies do use artificial flavors. You don't do that, right?
Well, for all of our flavors that you've talked about already, with the Gilroy, Teriyaki, Sweet Heat, Blazin, those all use fresh ingredients. Now, the fruit flavors that we use, like fig and raspberry, pear, and all that, those are flavors that we don't add fresh fruit in them. Those are flavorings, but they're all natural flavorings. And they're very concentrated. So we're using very little of that flavoring. But you have to, only way you're going to be able to make a pear, rosemary, any of the fruit flavors is there. And where we get our flavorings is a company that has thousands of flavors, but they have a very small list of what are called Whole Foods approved flavors. And Whole Foods is the most strict company about getting products into their stores. And we were in Whole Foods for about a year. And we got in because we used their Whole Foods flavors that were on their approved lists. So those are what we use.
Great. So if somebody wanted to avoid, any kind of flavoring, they just get the savory flavors, and then that's all they got to do. And is there nutritional information on your website?
Yes, there is. And pretty much all the white and dark balsamics, they're all the same. The dark balsamics are 36 calories, 8 grams of sugars and 8 carbs without any processed sugar, of course.
And that's per tablespoon? Is that per tablespoon?
No, it's per tablespoon, no sodium, no fat, of course.
Right, and that's important. And I would estimate that I use about 2 tablespoons because your vinegars are so flavorful, you don't need more than that.
Mm-hmm. White balsamics are only 30 calories. So 36 for the dark, 30 calories for the white.
Okay, so Annette wants to know, is the chocolate orange compliant with UWL? Well, if you're putting it on kale, maybe, but I don't recommend chocolate for people, even in a flavor that are somebody that's struggling.
Most of the people have been using it on fresh fruit.
Okay, good to know. Well, then we'll talk about that, Annette, on the UWL page. So guys, make sure you head over to the Facebook page of California Balsamic, give it a like, because we're going to be discussing the contest there for the free 3 large bottles, and we'll be discussing it a lot between now and January 2nd. And maybe after this contest, Thomas, we'll have like a flavor contest, where, because I've got some ideas.
So much fun.
Yeah, but I know right now he's too busy right now to create any new flavors, guys. So save that for next year. We'll have another contest. And remember, CaliforniaBalsamic.com. You can always get 2 free 1.6 ounce samples just by using Chef AJ. And we're going to tell you how to
leave us a message box. Don't
leave us a message.
Leave us a message right next to your name on the checkout page. Please don't put any requests. Each flavor has a little comment box. You can talk about how much you like or don't like in particular flavor right on the balsamic page. But don't leave us any message about what you'd like as freebies on the individual flavors. That's all done on the leave us a message box and the checkout page right next to your name where you type it in.
Great. Valerie says she just got her order. Can't get enough of your vinegars. How long does it take to make these flavored vinegars? Because you start with like a mother vinegar, right?
Right. The basic balsamic vinegar, we get in 58-gallon drums straight from Modena, Italy.
And could people just buy the mother?
Well, the balsamic by itself, mother is not in any drum. The mother, of course, is only done in the very first initial phase in Modena, Italy. And so then the plain balsamic vinegar is what we start, dark or white, and then we flavor it with whatever we darn well feel like.
That sounds great. Did you ever have a flavor that just didn't fly with anyone?
Well, sure. And they generally don't make it to beyond the test marketing phase. We'll try some flavors, and if it just doesn't work, we did for a little while pina colada balsamic with pineapple and coconut, and that didn't go over all that well. But we let people sample it at the festivals, and when they didn't much care for it, we just didn't print out labels. We made a handful of bottles, but that's generally how it starts off: is just make 1 or 2 bottles, let people sample it for the next 2 to 3 months, and if we don't get enough reaction from people, we don't go into production.
Right, but curry, you got a lot of reaction. I was there when everybody tasted it.
That right now, if I could, I would. Right. But we're just too busy.
That's amazing. Luz wants to know if you ship to Canada.
We don't. I'm sorry to say. The last time we shipped, we were going to ship 2 bottles of our $23 size to Toronto. The 2 bottles, of course, was $46. We charged a flat rate of $8.95 to any address in the country. And when I talked to the post office, they said it was going to be $60 for shipping alone to Toronto. And I said, I had to call her and send her money back, and we did not ship them to Toronto.
Let me ask you a question, though. If somebody would be willing to pay the shipping, would you be willing to ship?
Oh, I've had people ask me to ship their product to Israel and anywhere in the world. And I said, well, if you're willing to do $40 or $50 per bottle, we'll send it anywhere in the world. If you're just paying the normal, whatever we are charged for that, we'll have to do it. Because there's a lot of paperwork involved with shipping internationally.
Wow. Well, this has been one of the most special interviews I've ever done because I connected family, 2 long lost cousins. So this is that. And Leslie, maybe you can convince him to go a little bit more plant-based with your sisters and have them over at your, maybe he could do a presentation. Oh my God, she's got this huge club. I mean, they have hundreds. Leslie, invite him to be a speaker. Seriously, bring the vinegars. Oh my God, that would be amazing. That would be so amazing.
This is the same Leslie, I believe. I took her to the Detroit Zoo when she was about 6 years old.
Oh my God. It has to be. She's a dynamo. Oh, this is, yes, she says that's her. Oh my God. This is like Oprah, you guys, like where the backstage is the kid. This is so great. Well, do you guys have any more questions for Thomas? If not, I want you guys, as soon as we end this broadcast, to hop on over to the Facebook page of California Balsamic, give it a like, because we're going to be connecting over there with the recipe contest. Yes, he's related to all three of the sisters, Colleen, and actually there's a fourth sister that I believe lives in Hawaii that I never met. So yeah, that's incredible.
Small world.
Oh my God, this is the best. This made my day, you guys. So, okay. Well, anything else you want to say, Thomas, or anybody have any questions?
We're crazy excited about, we're going to have in January, we're going to put a Chef AJ page on our website so that you have no worries about what's SOS free and what's not. Chef is going to have her own page, and we'll put some SOS free gift sets on that page as well. And anytime you want to customize a gift set for an SOS free friend, simply leave us a message box with a gift set that you've placed an order for. You tell us what flavors you want to put in that gift set. And if you want to have us write us a little handwritten note for that gift set, we include a handwritten note with every Christmas gift as well, or birthday, or any gift for the entire year.
You know, I just had an idea that down the road, I'd like to just create a vinegar that's called Chef AJ, and I have an idea. So we're not going to tell anybody, but I'll call you privately, because there's two flavors that I would love to have because I consider
put your name on it.
So yeah, I consider it sauce. So because I don't want to make sauces, and teriyaki and all that stuff has a bunch of salt and usually sugar and usually oil. So all right, well, it's just been such a pleasure talking to you and reconnecting family. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider sharing this broadcast. You simply have to use the share button, and I'll have this up on YouTube soon. And if you're in Ukiah, can they come to your store? Is there a store?
But please call us at the number that's on our website. For every time anyone calls us, I answer the phone with my cell phone. If you're on the East Coast, don't call me before 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, that's great. And like I said, you can go on their website and find out what they're going to be. He's going to be very close to me. And Colleen, you could go to Pomona to the Harvest Festival and taste all his flavors. It's not that far. And the Harvest Festival is great, by the way. I would go, except that I'm out of town December 1st. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for watching Healthy Living.
Pomona, you'll see my wife Ethel at that event.
That's okay. Ann says she loves the habanero too. I usually end the broadcast saying I make healthy taste delicious, but when it comes to savory balsamics, Thomas, the California Balsamics, makes them taste delicious. Thanks, everybody. And don't forget, like the Facebook page of California Balsamic, because that's where we're going to talk about the contest. So you can win 3 free bottles and get 2 free bottles just with any order. Okay, take care. Bye.
Thank you, Chef.
Of course.